Hi, in this video I'll be showing you this. It's the Morphy-Richards 303250 cordless iron. And what I want to do today is to show you around the iron some of the features and benefits that it offers, and really why at the moment in the UK it's one of the best selling irons. So let's get it unboxed and we'll have a look. Anyway, just before I start, all I'd normally say is please subscribe to my YouTube channel, just click the thumbs up. What I do is I normally talk about household appliances. I do specialise in cordless vacuum cleaners, and I do talk a lot now about small domestic appliances like this. So just give us a quick thumbs up, subscribe, and then we'll carry on. So let's have a look. There are a handful of instructions on the top here. It says how to use your cordless iron. Well, we'll cover that a bit more in a moment. So we're going to need a base, because clearly being cordless we're going to need to charge it up. Take it out of the plastic bags. I'm quite pleased that most of the packaging in here is recyclable. It is something I tend to mention because I think manufacturers have got a responsibility to make sure that a lot of the packaging, as much as possible, is recyclable. It should be okay with all of this. A lot of this is cardboard. You've got the instructions in here, which for most men it will be recycled pretty quickly, but I'm sure we'll have a quick read of those a bit later. So the whole concept of cordless irons are not new to the market. We've been selling quite a few cordless irons for quite a few years now, but I suppose the main disadvantage with a lot of cordless irons is that they don't tend to be that higher wattage. So what that means is that they cool down pretty quickly. With this one it's a 2400 watt iron, and then when you put it on the base, well, I'll give it a test in a bit, but in theory it when it is cool then it only takes 25 seconds to heat up, but as I say, I'll give that a go. But what I like about this iron is it is very lightweight. This is just over a kilogram, so it's 1071 grams, or around 2.5 pounds. But with this it's got a really nice easy grip handle. It's got like a rubber finish on the top there, so it just makes it nice and comfortable for when you're actually ironing. But as far as the layout of the iron, it's not really any different to a standard corded iron. You've got the things like the extra burst of steam and the spray of water on the top here. You've got the variable steam option, and you've got the temperature control under here, and then you just fill the water from at the front here. So the actual layout of it is pretty standard. Also it has got an easy glide base, so it just makes it a lot easier when you iron over the fabrics, because the last thing you want is it sticking. So I think what I'll do is I'll get some water and we'll pop it in the tank just to give it a test. It does say there is a little sticker on here, first of all to say that it's been tested. So if you do have any water in the tank already, because clearly I've only unboxed this, I've not used it at all yet, and I can see there is a little bit of water in there. But what it's saying is that it's been tested in the factory and that it's all okay. So I am pleased with that. I'm pleased they put the sticker on there, because sometimes what will happen is if you receive a product like this and if you see water's in there, then you might think it's second hand and already been used. So that's really good they put the sticker on there. What it also says on the sticker is that we recommend the use of distilled water. That is an option. I think for the performance of the iron it can be a little bit better. For today's purpose all I'm going to use is normal tap water, and to be fair, normal tap water should be okay. So when it comes to filling it, all you do is you just lift the flap at the front. It's little things like that, so that when you lift the flap it does stay open. The only thing to mention, if you have used it several times, then just make sure that the seal on the inside here is nice and clean. It's like a little rubber seal, so that when you shut the lid, then that is a really good seal to make sure all the water stays in there. But just make sure that's nice and clean. If it's not, and if you start to get a little bit of dirt around here, then you could find it might not seal properly. But when it comes to filling it, so this iron has a 350 milliliter tank. Clearly I don't need to completely fill it, but let's put a good amount of water in there. And now I've done that, and then just seal it. And on the side of the iron, hopefully you can see the water in there, so you can see the water level. There is a max line there, so what that does is that shows you when you've filled it up. So the base the iron sits on is quite compact. It's only around 18 centimetres across, or around 7 inches. So for storage purposes, then that is pretty good. What you'll also find, clearly even being a cordless iron, you still need to have it charged up. So with this, the mains lead itself is around 1.8 metres, or just under 6 foot. So it is a good length, and what that means is that you can keep this base on the ironing board, and at least you've got a good length to work with to make sure it's plugged in, and that you're not having to go and reach over to recharge the iron each time. So when you first plug the base in, it has got a cheeky little blue light that goes all the way around. I must say I quite like that. It's just a nice little feature to let you know that it is plugged in. There is a note on the top there, just really saying to you, for the best results, always return the iron to its base during ironing intervals. So what I do now is I've just zoomed in a little bit, hopefully you can see the lights on the top here. So there should be 2 lights, and if I pop it on the base, then you can see that the first one is just showing that it's heating, and apparently in the instructions it does say that it should heat up within 25 seconds. I know that can depend on the temperature of the water, and now that's saying that it's up to temperature. That definitely wasn't 25 seconds, so to be honest, I'm really impressed that it has heated up that quickly. What is really nice is it has a 360-degree base that you can charge it on. I know with some of the other irons that I've tested 1 or 2 over the years, and I have used quite a few. Yes, I do some of the ironing at home as well. Not all of it, but I do some of it, so I do my fair share. But what is good is that when you come to put the iron back down on the base, then it doesn't matter which way you have it. If I just try that again, so if I take it off, say leave it for, I'd say about 9-10 seconds, which could be, you know, if you're ironing something like a sleeve, and then if I just pop it back on the base, then clearly that's saying it's already up to temperature. So it does retain the temperature very well. I must say I'm pretty impressed with that. Some of the other irons that I have tested over the years, they lost the heat pretty quickly, and you were forever putting it back on the base to recharge. But as far as the iron itself, so when it comes to the things like the spray, as I mentioned earlier, that's the button there. So you just press the button, and then you get the water coming out the front. Hopefully you saw that. And as far as the steam goes, a couple of options. You've either got the constant steam, which is 30 grams of steam, or you have got the extra burst of steam, which is 130 gram boost. So that can be really good if you've got quite a few creases in a shirt, and you just need that extra little bit of help. And for the extra burst of steam, all you do is you just press that button on the top. It's pretty impressive, I must say. Now some people still like to dry iron, so they don't want to use any steam at all. That is an option on here. All you would do is you just set that to off, so there wouldn't be any steam, and just make sure you don't touch the extra burst of steam option. But then basically that could be used as a dry iron, so you don't have to fill it with water if you don't want to. You've also got the option for things like vertical steam. So if you say had a shirt hanging up, or if you want to do things like curtains, some people want to iron the curtains, then you've got the option, so you can use it vertically. I only mention that because not all irons can do that, but that's a really good reason to buy a cordless iron as opposed to one with a cord, because you know, clearly if it's going to be big curtains, then to have a lead trailing around behind you is quite a pain. What you've also got on the iron is a self-clean option. What you want to do is you want to try and maintain the iron to look after it. So you've got a button around here, that's the self-clean button, and what you do is first of all you turn off the steam option, so you don't have that on, fill it with water. You want to put it back on the base to get it nice and hot, and then you go over to a sink, which being cordless is a lot easier. I have tried to do this with 1 or 2 corded irons, and it can be quite a pain to do it, but clearly being cordless you've not got the worry. So once you've filled it with water, turn the steam option off, put on the base, fully charge it, and then you go over to the sink and you press and hold the button, and what you'll find is you'll get the extra burst of steam come through the holes at the bottom, and that just helps to keep everything clean. I'd recommend doing that. You don't have to do it, say, every time you use it. But say if you are ironing, I don't know, for example, say once a week, then if you were to do that, say once a month, then it just really helps to maintain the iron. And if you do that, then hopefully the performance of the iron should be a lot better long term. So a couple of other features that it's got. The first one is an anti-drip feature from the lid. And what that means is that even though it's full of water, I can still turn the iron upside down, sort of give it a good shake, and there's definitely no water dripping out. Another thing it's got is something called auto shut off. So if you leave the iron on the base for at least 8 minutes, then it will actually shut itself off. It's not a fault at all with the iron, that's just where the auto shut off feature has kicked in. Clearly ironing isn't the most exciting thing to do, so being distracted by something else is quite easy. And I'm really glad that Morphy-Richards have put this on the iron. If you are thinking of buying one of these irons, I have provided a link below to show you where to get one at a competitive price. Something else to mention, warranty wise, now a lot of Morphy-Richards products tend to be out either 1 or 2 years, but what they've done on this, I'll just show you on the box, they do actually provide a 3-year warranty. Now I'm not saying it's always on, I think sometimes some brands will offer promotional guarantees, but I'm really pleased to see at the moment that Morphy-Richards are offering a 3-year guarantee, which is always encouraging, especially for an iron at this price. I hope you enjoyed this quick video on the Morphy-Richards 303250 cordless iron. Now I know some of you may have wanted me to actually test the iron and to actually iron with it. Unfortunately I'm in the workplace and we haven't got an ironing board here. And also I don't think you want the trauma of me taking my shirt off and ironing this on camera. But all I'd normally say is please subscribe to my YouTube channel, just give us a quick thumbs up and leave any comments below. I'd always ask for comments, whether it's good or bad, about the video itself. If you've got any questions on the iron, then again just pop it in the comments and I'll get back to you. And if you have got one of these irons, I'd always appreciate the feedback to let me know what you think, whether it's good or bad. Just be honest about it. Anyway, thanks for watching.